Miami's 2025 season became one of college football's best redemption stories after a midseason stumble. The Hurricanes regrouped, reloaded, and ripped through the playoff field. And now, after years of waiting, the U is back on the sport's biggest stage, playing for a national championship. But how did they get here? Well, they beat Texas A&M 10-3. They beat Ohio State as a pretty large dog there, 24-14. And then they got past Ole Miss 31-27 in the semis. And joining me now from Cover 3, we got Chip Patterson and Tom Fornelli here to answer the question that everybody's asking, is the U officially back? Tom, you're going to be our resident hater for the day, so let's start with you. What is the biggest reason why you say the U is not back?
It's pretty simple, Katie. They haven't won anything yet. Yeah, they're playing in the national title game. They've beaten 3 good teams in this bowl, in the playoffs so far. But I will remind you that the last time Miami won a national title was in 2001. There are college graduates among us who were not alive the last time Miami won a national title. And the reason the U became the U was because they were winning national titles. They were a dynasty in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. Winning is what they did, but they haven't won in 24 years. And not only have they not won a national title yet, they haven't won a conference title since 2003, and they were still in the Big East at that time. Ever since joining the ACC, not only have the Hurricanes failed to win the ACC, they have failed to qualify for the ACC championship game. That means they haven't finished in the top 2 in the standings in the league in over 20 years of being in the league. So, yes, the U has had a fantastic season. They are playing for a national title next week. But until they win that national title, they're not back. They're just getting better.
Okay. Chip, you heard what Tom had to say here. If you're counting national titles, then sure, they haven't checked that box yet. But they are winning on the big stages again. Why does that matter?
I think that matters because that's what gives them the confidence to be able to step on the field at Hard Rock Stadium on Monday to say that we belong to be there. You know, this is a team here in 2025 that if you take the playoff run into consideration, the Miami Hurricanes have defeated more top 10 teams than the 2001 national champion Miami Hurricanes, largely viewed as one of the best college football teams of all time. I'm not going to go pick for pick. I'm not going to go talent for talent, but I do think that what the Hurricanes have shown us, particularly in this late season run, which I stretch all the way back to the loss at SMU back in early November. I think that what they have done in defeating high-profile opponent after high-profile opponent, in reversing the narrative of teams that under both Mario Cristobal and Manny Diaz would just collapse in the month of November, they won late season games on the road in cold weather. They went to College Station. They beat Ohio State. They beat Ole Miss. This Miami team is winning more big games than some of the teams played at all in the Big East. So, yeah, I think that by winning these big stage games, that shows them and all of us that the U is back.
All right, Tom, so you laid it out perfectly. No championship yet. That could change on Monday. What still keeps Miami out of the back conversation for you, specifically when you look at the draft?
Who have we seen along the sidelines during this entire Miami playoff run through every single game? We've seen Michael Irvin on the sideline, getting the belt out, whipping the Gatorade can. We've seen Ray Lewis. We have seen the stars of yore from Miami on the sidelines. They're starting to look kind of old, though, aren't they? But you know what all those guys have in common? They were all first-round picks. They were all highly drafted players. They were all very talented. And one of the strange things about last year's NFL draft was the first player chosen was Cam Ward, a Miami quarterback. He'd only been there for a year, but he counted as a Miami player. But what stood out was Cam was the first Miami Hurricane to be taken in the first round of the NFL draft since 2021. Before that, they hadn't had a first-round player taken since 2017 in tight end David Njoku. Going back to 2009, Miami has had 7 first-round picks. That seems pretty good. That's higher than a lot of schools. Except when the U was the U, the first round belonged to Miami. From 1997 until 2008, they had 31 players chosen in the first round of the NFL draft. Guys who didn't just get drafted, but went to the NFL and became All-Pros and Hall of Famers. They haven't existed in a long time at Miami. So, no, the U is not back until we start seeing them win national titles and start producing incredible NFL talent. Now, the good news is, if you look at mock drafts, They should have at least 2 first-round picks this year. In fact, now that Dante Moore is not going to be in the draft and is going back to Oregon, maybe Carson Beck sneaks his way into the first round as a quarterback and gives them 3, possibly even 4, depending on how teams feel about Akeem Mesidor. So they're on their way back to being back when it comes to NFL draft picks, but they're not quite there just yet.
Yeah, Tom, I've seen more Michael Irvin BTA than I signed up for, I think, in my lifetime this season. But Chip, let's flip this energy here. What are the Hurricanes' undeniable strengths right now that fans should really feel great about?
It's the physicality, and it's winning with local products. I go back to Mario Cristobal, not the head coach. Mario Cristobal, the high school recruit in the late 80s, Columbus High School there in South Florida. He got a chance to go over and watch Miami's practice as a junior and a senior in high school. Then he talks about the competitiveness that he saw. And anybody who talks to any one of those legends that Tom just referenced, they all said that the practices during the week were tougher than the games. And I think about this group right now, where you've got Mark Fletcher, local product, where you've got Reuben Bain, local product, and where you've got Malachi Toney, the explosive wide receiver, the CBS Sports Freshman of the Year, also a local product. Look, Miami has been able to recruit strong local players, even through some of the down years, but what they found is a particular group that has that mentality, that has that edge, that has that work ethic, so that it is what happens during the week in practice that prepares you to make the weekends easy. No, that is what Mario Cristobal said. He says nostalgia theater is poisoning this country, with everybody always trying to reach back. He wants to take the physicality of what he had with the U and move it forward, and I think he's got that with local products who bring that physical edge, so that the U is not just back, the U is pushing forward into the next generation.
You fellas have put together a good case on both sides here, but here's the bottom line. If Miami wins a national title, this debate is over, right? So the real question here is, can the Hurricanes officially move into the "we're back, baby" category with a win over Indiana? I'll start with you, Chip.
Unquestionably, yes. I think they already have, Katie. I think this thing is built for them to be successful. That last year's double-digit win, which preceded this year's double-digit win, you're going to see a few more double-digit win seasons as well. Whether they ultimately win the national championship, a lot of that just comes down to how the funny ball bounces in football. But the U under Mario Cristobal has proven to me in this postseason run, they are indeed back.
I will say, if they win on Monday night, they are back, and I do think that they can win on Monday night. So it's a question of, are they back? No, I'm not going to give it to them yet. I'll give them back-ish. I do think that if you look at what Mario Cristobal has done with this program, there is a strong argument that this is the best Miami has looked in a very long time. Chip mentioned they won 10 games last year. They've gotten to the final this year, and they are a part of the national conversation now in a much different way. For the last 15 years, anytime we've talked about Miami, it's been to really talk about how them falling short or just, shooting themselves in the foot. This year, that has not been the case. This has been the best Miami team we have seen for a very long time, and it's a Miami team that could win a national title. And frankly, I did not expect them to get this far. We didn't even know that they would get into the field. For so much of the season, it looked like they would be left out. So for them to not only sneak in and then make it to the title game is a tremendous accomplishment. And if they win Monday night, they're back. But I'm not saying they are until they do.
Let me ask you this, Tom. Given the same scenario here with the Chicago Bears, are they back?
Oh, the Bears are back. The Bears never went away, Katie. Bears got the best quarterback in the world.
And there you have it. Chip Patterson, Tom Fornelli. Appreciate two of you stopping by here for deeper dives, smarter debates, and zero shortage of opinions. Catch Chip, Tom, and the crew on the Cover 3 podcast. Download and subscribe and listen to the Cover 3 by scanning that QR code on your screen.